Tommy, I know you've believed for a long time, but I think after that performance, a few more people will be believing as well.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, just talking to the staff in there, I think, we say, what if, if we had that urgency and that sort of desire, but oppositions dictate a lot of what you have to do. And I changed my mind within the last hour and a half before the game to change the team. Made one change because I felt if we just sat back against these guys, that we'd find it really difficult to keep them out. So we tried to play on the front foot, much like we did against Halifax. And I didn't think we had a weak link in the side, including the lads who come off the bench. So that's really important for me going forward. Bromley have got a cup final at Wembley. We've got 7. We've got 7 more, and if we give that sort of energy, effort and enthusiasm and quality at times on a difficult surface, then we'll go very close. I know that.
You can work as much as you like on the training field, but work rate and desire is something you can only ask for. They certainly gave that in abundance today, didn't they?
Yeah, I mean, if you've been here the last 3 or 4 games at the Walks, whether we've won or not, I think that's something that you can't deny. They are, I've said this to Reg on numerous occasions, they're starting to reflect my personality as a group, and that means they don't want to lose straight away. And from that point of view, I also wanted to win, but not lose, and we're starting to show that. We've put some wins on the board in the last couple of weeks. We've kept adding points every couple of games. We've sort of managing to get 4. If we can continue to do that, it'll be an interesting end of the season.
It was building, wasn't it? Before the goal came, you had a couple of half chances. I think Gold had a sort of half chance. He followed in, and the bounce of the ball didn't quite fall right. So, when finally it did fall right, great shot from the edge of the box. You just needed someone to follow in, and Theo was there.
Yeah, I mean, we encouraged Theo and Cam, Skip, Michael and Josh Barrett to get into forward areas, run past their markers, if you like. And in fairness, Goldie was a little unfortunate when he went in for the rebound a little bit earlier. He just couldn't move his feet quickly enough. But I thought he put in an immense performance for us, the big lad. He gets in. He's had a hell of a lot of stick inside and outside of the club, just because of the fact that he isn't a prolific goal scorer. But then the club's position would suggest we haven't got a prolific goal scorer, so it's not his fault. But what he's done today against lads who've played football league, I'm talking Byron Webster, Chrissy Bush, Joe Partington, they're good footballers at this level, fellas. They're good defenders, and I think he's given them a bloody tough time. If you ask them, do they want to come up against him again on Saturday, I'm telling you now, they'll say no. So I think he deserves a big pat on the back. But the same as the rest of them, he has to go and do his preparation starting now, including tomorrow when he'll have a day off. We'll be back at it on Thursday, because I need that effort, that enthusiasm and that involvement every single minute of every single game we have left.
It's always nervous at 1-0, isn't it? But actually, the big man at the other end, Josh Coulson, had a couple of chances, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, we work hard at set pieces. It's a big part of the game, and we're not the biggest side. We haven't been the biggest side when you look at some of the oppositions we play, including today. But we work hard at the set pieces to get 1 or 2 people them opportunities. And Josh will be disappointed he hasn't. Well, he hit the target with the first one, the goalie made a great save. So to just miss the second one, he'll be disappointed, because it's some contact area he's got with the size of his forehead, so he'll be disappointed he didn't put it on the net. But listen, Josh is here to help us in all ways, shapes and forms. He's a good organiser. He's not a ranter and raver, but he's a good talker, and he's got experience of this level and above. So like I said, he could probably fit into most teams we play against as well. So again, I don't like singling anybody out, but I thought him, the spine of the side today was strong, and when you've got a strong spine, you very rarely fall down too often.
Yeah. You mentioned there's every game is a cup final between now and the end of the season, especially over Easter. You're going to be really busy. You've got to make sure that sort of almost emotional pressure doesn't get too much, haven't you?
Yeah, I mean, I've said this since I walked in the door. We got pick with fights. I remember getting beat at Chesterfield 1-0 on New Year's Day, and I was devastated because it happened so late in the game. But I knew a season wouldn't be defined losing at Chesterfield or losing at Wrexham. We've got to make hay at home. Simple as that. This is a place I feel can be turned into a place people fear to come. And at the end of the day, you can only do that by putting good results on the board. And listen, however many games there was in our division today, the one that people go, wow, is this one. And I'm pleased about that, because trust me, we'll be wowing a few more before the end of the season.
Good luck. Thank you.
Problem? Any more?
Yeah. I know you're a man who likes to take one game at a time, but at any point in the last couple of weeks, have you actually spoken to the players about targets or anything like that at all?
Never. Honestly, never. I look at every single game as a one-off project. Like I said, there was no reason for me to change the side, because we played against Halifax and we played against Dover. We took 4 points from the 2 games, which in my head is a good return. The fact that we took them the opposite way around to everybody possibly would have thought we did makes no difference to me. It was a positive result here against Halifax and then away at Dover. So there was just something about the way they play the game that I felt we didn't need an extra defender in the starting 11. So I wanted another midfielder. And as it happened to be Theo, that's how it was. And I just thought the blend that we had between Shooter, Theo, Cam, Skip and Josh, there's 5 very different players there, and they make a massive engine room, behind a big bloody thing at the front. So from that point of view, they serviced him well, they helped him well, and he did really well. So, as an attacking unit, when Tyler joined in down the left or when Nash joined in down the right, I just thought we looked a really good attacking unit. And it's not always great being 1-0 going into 6 minutes of added time, but I'll say it's another game that the goalkeeper hasn't had real saves to make. He's fielded a few balls, he's taken a few crosses, but we weren't getting peppered. I thought we were the team on the front foot, and I haven't looked at the stats yet, but my eyes usually tell me in live time that we probably had more shots at goal than they did.
There were heroes all over the pitch tonight, but for me, Mike Cloonan has put in a real shift out there tonight.
Well, I'd be disappointed if he didn't. He is Mr. King's Lynn Town, isn't he? He's the captain of the side. He's been excellent since I've walked in the door. His enthusiasm never wins, whether he's 100% fit or not. He's played in numerous different positions. I think he's a better player further forward of the pitch. That's why I did what I did with the situation today. And from that point of view, I've never got a gripe about his effort, his application. Because Michael played for this side, before I come in, that played a very, very different style. I think it's taken a little bit longer for Michael to get to know exactly what I need to do, or what I need him to do. But he's getting there, and he affects the game positively in every way. Not every minute of every game, but there's definitely moments where you think, wow, that was excellent. And he's one of them guys that he's in the side and he's finding it difficult to get out of.
Going forward, is he the type of player, whatever happens going forward, is he the type of player you build your team around next season?
Well, I always think there's a place for him here, without a shadow of a doubt. That discussion is probably in his head. He'll see himself as a National League player, and if the worst happens, he might not want to be here. There might be teams that want to take him. But ultimately, when the time comes, and I haven't spoken to many about next season yet, there's 1 or 2 who have triggers in their contract that if they play enough games between when they sign and the end of the season, then there will be a trigger that gives them a level of wage at this level or a level at the next level. So we've planned as best as I can without making definitive decisions. But there are also players that I've said, look, the club will have the option to give you another season or not. If I'm the manager when that time comes, then it's starting to shape now the way I like. Like I said, the team now, certainly the 11 that started and the 3 lads who come off the bench and the lads who are, who didn't come off the bench, I would see them as being players I can work with.
And in terms of what's going on at the bottom this season, what does that win do to Aldershot, do you think? Because they're really looking at... You're not bothered?
Not at all. We can only affect what we can affect. If we start worrying about their games in hand or this or that, it's of none of my concern really. All I need to know is we've got Yeovil Town here on Saturday. The last team to come from way down southwest came and nicked 3 points off us. We don't want that to happen on Saturday. So we'll be preparing, like I said, as soon as I walk back in the room now, I'll be looking at the bits and bobs on Yeovil a little closer now, and the plan will start when we get back on the training ground on Thursday.
And the fact that you've got Notts County away and Grimsby over the Easter holiday, does that make Saturday that little bit more important?
No, it's only more important because it's the next game. Once that one's out of the way, then the behemoth that is Notts County away then comes over the horizon, doesn't it? It's a David versus Goliath. But you know what? I used the Notts County first half performance here as an indication of what I wanted from us as a front three today, because people will look at that and decide what they want to decide. I know what I picked. I picked the 4-3-3. So from that point of view, I looked at Michael Cloonan today as long with Josh Barrett as 3 strikers. That's how I picked the team. And I now know I can play with 1 up and 2 behind, or 3 up, or 2 up and 1 behind, or just 2 up. So we've got plenty up our sleeve. Like I said, we'll have a look at Yeovil and we'll pick a team to try and win that game, after which we'll start looking forward and not worrying about Notts County.
And again, Saturday is another David, against Goliath, really, because Yeovil are a football league club, really, aren't they?
I mean, there's not many games in the division that aren't, could have been FA Cup first round draws 3 or 4 years ago for Kings Lynn Town. But we're in this division. We feel we're capable of standing toe to toe, as we've shown there. We had Halifax and Bromley here last 2 home games, and we've taken 6 points from 2 teams at some stage in this season have been second in the league. So from that point of view, I'm not sure we can do much more than we're doing.